Thank you, Jamie. I hardly recognize that guy you was talking about. I want to thank bishops. It's a truly spectacular honor. As a matter of fact, I'm almost speechless. And in a few moments you'll see what I mean by that. When I found out that the university wanted to honor me this way, I thought I'd do some research. I'm going to pay for it. And I found out some things that are kind of interesting. The first honorary doctorate was given by Oxford University to the Archbishop of Canterbury in the 15th century. And since then, lots and lots of people, more than a dozen or so, have received honorary degrees from universities all around the world. They're usually scientists and poets and writers, statesmen, people like that. In the 20th century, a lot more movie stars and singers and athletes got honorary degrees. A few years ago, George Bush got one from Yale. And recently, a school in New York gave an honorary degree to Kermit the Frog. And this year, Bishops is giving me an honorary degree. I think you see there's kind of a trajectory here. Jamie said a few things about me. One of the things he mentioned was that I had this kind of connection with many of the greatest philosophers and logicians of the 20th century. I want to set the record straight. Be more precise about the kind of relationship I had with them. Here's the thing. I once sat in a bus next to a guy who had a neighbor whose cousin had a friend who heard of these guys. So that's a connection. Now, I got to make another confession here. Several months ago when I was asked to give this commencement address, I thought, I got lots of time, no rush. And who starts a term paper the first day of class? You wait. So I thought I had lots of time, but it was a very, very busy semester for me. There was basketball season, and I had a couple classes to go to it. Then there was, they showed all the Star Wars series on TV, and I'd only seen them 4 or 5 times. One I'd only seen once or twice. That took time. And then there was the 3.5 weeks of March break. I know it's not 3.5 weeks, it's what, 2.5 weeks? But I was tired after March break. Went to Cancun for a little while. Then I came back, went to a couple classes. And then there was, Dancing with the Stars and stuff like that. I was busy, and it turned out the semester was over. It was time to do this. And I did what probably one or two of you may have done once or twice in the past. I asked for an extension. I said I'd be happy to do this next week, better maybe late June. But you know what these guys are like that here. No sympathy. They said it had to be today. I think they don't know what it's like. I mean, you guys know what it's like. They don't know what it's like to be busy and to have responsibilities. So anyway, here I am. When I was given this assignment, there were 3 requirements. Number 1, keep it short. Tell that's not a problem. Number 2, because I spent the last 4 decades teaching and thinking and writing about logic and the requirements of rationality and so on. They were afraid I would give a speech about that kind of stuff. So I took that, and they didn't want me to do that, obviously, so I took that to mean that they wanted me to say something illogical and irrational. And I think you can pretty well tell that that's not a problem either. And finally, they asked me to say something that was kind of ennobling and inspirational. That might be a problem. One of the things Jamie did not tell you about me, and I'm reluctant to say this, but because I'm a very modest sort of guy, but I'm going to tell you anyway, I love bishops. That's the truth, actually. I love bishops. I've stayed here a long time because I do love it. But one way in which I've shown my love, other than just being here and doing my job as best I can, is I've done lots of things over and above the call of duty to help the university. I'm going to give you 2 examples of things that I've done to help bishops. One from the very beginning of my career here, and one right from the very end. When I first came to Bishops, I didn't know anything about this place. I'd never heard of it until I got the job. I didn't know anything. And I'd been on campus just a few days, and I found out that Bishops did not have a mascot. So I naturally volunteered. I could help out. So I went to the first couple football games, and I had my mascot outfit on. You know, my black pants, and short white jacket, white shirt, bow tie, tray under my arm. I walked up and down the sidelines. I didn't get the reaction I was hoping for. It wasn't until after the 3rd football game that I realized it's Gators, not waiters. But the point is, I was trying to help out. My heart was in the right place. And then late in my career here, a year or so ago, I went to Jamie and I suggested that, because Bishops is going through this financial crunch and it's having trouble like every other university recruiting students and keeping students here and so on, I thought I could help out. So I made the suggestion to Jamie that I retire. Actually, he made the suggestion. He demanded that I retire. In fact, the whole department. Plus 1 or 2 students. Okay, all the philosophy students. But the point is, I did retire and trying to do something good for the university. I do want to leave you with one piece of advice, because that's what commencement speakers do. They give you advice, and I know you're not going to listen to my advice. No one ever does. It's just this, and I'm serious about this. I'm sorry. And it sounds like a TV show. This is your life. And it's your only life. Don't waste time thinking about nonsense like past lives. And waste time worrying about a future life. Just lead this life the best way you can, because if you do it right, once is enough. Thank you.